Hello students. Uh, Today let's discuss, just revise our chapter, that is gravitation. As these chapters we have revised before your UT second, but still let's revise it again through the important questions that can be there in your annual examinations. First of all, we will discuss the conceptual things that are important here, or concept basis problem. After that, we will solve some of the numericals that can be asked from every topic. Here number of topics we have in the chapter gravitation. So here some more things are deleted also, like Kepler's law that are deleted from here. So first thing that we have Newton's law of gravitation. So as you know that whenever we have two masses that are separated by some of the distance, suppose we have one mass m1 here, one mass m2 here, and they are separated by some distance r, then these two masses impart some force on each other, and or you can say that these two masses shows interaction or attraction forces, and that can bind them together, and due to that we are here, our universe is here, whole of the stellar bodies that we are seeing that are established somewhere. This force is known as gravitational force, and its range is infinite. Later I will tell you properties of gravitational force here. Then first of all, I think gravitational force, that you are aware with that things also. So whenever there are two masses that are separated by some distance, then that time these two masses are just trying to attract each other by some force, and that force is known as gravitational force. And the strength of that gravitational force, or magnitude of that gravitational force, Newton has seen that is, this force is directly proportional to the product of their masses, and also it is inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. Means greater will be the distance between these two masses, less will be the gravitational force between them, less will be the attraction force between them. So if we will rise it, then we will get F is directly proportional to m1 m2 upon r square. Or if you will just remove the proportionality sign, then F is z m1 m2 upon r square. So this is the gravitational force that we have. And also, if you know that already force is a vector quantity, then we can write this force in the vector. This is magnitude of force about that we are talking. And if we are talking about the gravitational force in magnitude and as well as in direction, then that time this force in vector form, that can be written g m1 m2 upon r square into some of the unit vector you can multiply here. And you know that value of this unit vector you can write in terms of vector r and magnitude of r. So this F will be equal to z m1 m2 divided by r cube, here r vector r. So you know that this unit vector can be represented by this, here r is the magnitude of this displacement vector, clear, or position vector. So this is the vector form of the Newton's law of gravitation. Now just come to the properties of gravitational forces. As we are revised, I am just taking it fastly. So first property of gravitational force, that is it is attractive force. So gravitational force is never repulsive, never zero, you can say that. It is attractive force. Then for that case we just put here negative sign, that shows the attraction of the attraction between any two masses. If there will be repulsion, then in that case no of the two masses can be established in our universe, and we cannot get any construction that we are seeing this time. Every body that are obeying some of the laws, and that is later we can just understand that laws by Kepler's law of planetary motion and other things. That time kinds of motions and that kinds of establishment cannot be there. Like our earth is revolving around the sun, that is always due to the reason because there is the attractive forces that is acting between earth and sun here. So this the first thing that So first property is that gravitational force will be always attractive in nature. Second thing that we are seeing that this gravitational force that is directly inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. So such types of theories that is known as inverse square law means the property or the quantity that is inversely proportional to the square of the distance, that is known as they are following inverse square law. Like we have seen Coulomb force of attraction, that is also following inverse square law. Means if you will see in the case of Coulomb force, like F is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught q1 q2 upon r square. So this is just like the case also here. Also that Coulomb force of attraction or repulsion, there can be both of the cases, that is inversely proportional to the square of the distance. So second thing is that this force is following inverse square law in nature. Third case is here. This force, gravitational force, is only dependent on the position of two masses. It is not depending on the intervening particles, intervening medium, or any kinds of path between that two masses. So the direct distance, the displacement between that two masses, that is important here, not the distance by path that we are just measuring the force, that is not important. It means that the gravitational force is conservative in nature. So as I am saying one word, conservative in nature, then number of properties are associated with conservative force. Already you have studied, then that can remind in your mind. Here you can put all the properties in the case of gravitational force here. So as these forces, this force is conservative, it means that it is only depending on the position of one mass and another mass. It is not depending on any condition through which we through which path we are measuring the forces, or it is not depending on any intervening medium between that two masses. Between any two masses, like you are here, I am here, between you and me, there is the production of gravitational force here, and number of intervening mediums are here, like air is here and other molecules here, and obviously they are not interfering any kind, means they are not putting any kind of interference whenever we are talking about the gravitational force. So this is conservative in nature. And if we are talking about conservative force, then obviously the work done here, that will be zero due to this force. Clear? Third thing is that whenever there will be the portion of a closed path, then obviously work done will be zero there. Obviously the force that is acting, that is conservative. So number of properties we have, and also the torque here that is acting on the system, that is always zero. It means that the angular momentum, that will be constant in this system. So whenever we are talking about, suppose that we are talking about the planetary motion, in which any planet that is revolving around the star, suppose we have a star and the planet that is revolving around it, then in that case also this star will have some mass, this planet will have some mass, then there will be the force that will acting between them, and here some of the distance between them, that is equal to radius on which it is just revolving around this star. Then the force you can just calculate it by this method, and this force will provide necessary centripetal force here in this case. So if that necessary centripetal force will provide to move this particle around this. So I think now that is clear about this thing. So, and you know that the properties of rotational motions also, so you can just enter that properties in the case of here. Means angular, whenever we are talking about the gravitational force that is acting on any system of planetary motion or satellite motion, whatever you are talking, in that case if it is revolving around any body, then that time always angular momentum will be conserved there. Clear? And also the torque acting on it, that is zero. No external force that is acting there. So such types of things are established here. One more thing that I just want to tell you here, that is any kind of force that is produced due to exchange of particles. So here the particle that is responsible for the production of gravitational force, that is called graviton, but still that particle haven't detected yet. So we have to wait for that discovery still. So, but still it is given that the particle that is responsible here, that is graviton. So this discussion, I think that is clear. Properties of gravitational force, that was important. And number of questions, numerical problems that are asked based on this problem is to find out the value of this G. This is the proportionality constant, and this G is known as universal gravitational constant. So sometimes we have some of the constant. So constant have some definite value at some places, at some position, but the universal constant has always the same value at every point in the universe. So this G has a constant value 6.67 into 10 power 11 Newton per square, clear? So I think Newton meter square per kg square. This is the unit of Z here, and also you can easily find out dimension, units and whatever through this formula. So this is also very important discovery here, and this formula is totally dependent on the observations and experiments that Newton has seen such types of variation, and after that he has just given this formula. So in this chapter, next thing that is important, that is gravitational potential and gravitational potential energy. So what is gravitational potential? So suppose that here one of the masses we have, and obviously first of all, what is gravitational field? Let's see that. So every mass has some of the reason through which it produces some of the effect. Means whenever some of the masses will enter in this region, then that time it will impart some of the force on that. Then that field that is associated with this mass, that is known as its gravitational field. Like if we are talking about the earth, then earth produces the gravity effect up to some region. Means till that region, obviously the gravitational field that is acting there, and before that variation of the gravitational field will be there, we will just reach in the free space there. So that field through which this mass or this body is affecting any other body, that is known as its own gravitational field, clear? Now if any other body have to come in this gravitational field, then obviously it has to do some of the work here. Reason is that whenever we are just putting any other body into its field, then that body will also have some of the field, and that field will just interact with this field, and that will oppose this field. So reason is that here the field that is also here, it want to be stable, it want to be in equilibrium, but still due to movement of any other mass into its field, there will be the variation in the field occur, or there will be a mutual interaction between two fields occur. So that time, obviously, if this field will resist the motion of that mass, or this will try to just stop that mass outside its gravitational field. Like if someone has to come to Earth or in Earth's gravitational field, then obviously it has to do some work against Earth gravity here. So this is the same fact. Then the work required to be done to put some of the unit mass into any gravitational field of any mass m, that is known as its gravitational potential. And if we are just taking any mass m1 to the field of any mass m2, then the energy required there, that is known as gravitational. Or simple, if you you want to understand that whenever there is change in gravitation, potential arises, or if we are just taking any mass from infinity to field of any other mass, then that time the energy stored in the system, that is known as its gravitational potential energy. Obviously we are changing the mass, then there will be the change in potential energy associated with that mass. Then the change in or the storage of potential energy due to change in its position, that is known as gravitational potential energy. So that potential energy we can calculate easily. So after calculation, first we have seen the gravitational potential that was equal to Z. Suppose here this is mass m we have, so Gm upon r, if r is the radius of this. So this is the gravitational potential energy, gravitational potential we have just seen. Means on any unit mass, this field just applies this potential, and through this potential is tried to resist any kind of movement in that mass. Clear? Secondly thing here, if some of the masses we are bringing, then obviously if it is applying some of the potential, then it means that its position is changing. Then due to change in position, the potential energy that is stored in that mass, that is known as potential energy. So potential energy that is defined by simply the mass of the body that we are just bringing into the potential developed due to this system. So finally this gravitational potential energy is given by Gmm upon r. So I think now this is two things are clear, and number of numericals are also on this formula to calculate gravitational potential energy and to calculate the gravitational potential of any mass. Clear? So with the help of this formula again you can calculate it. Here again negative sign shows us that we have to do some work on the system here to bring any mass into it, and also the force here that is attractive in nature. Clear? Think. Next factor here, one by one I just want to today discuss the concepts here. Later we will discuss in next class conceptual and numerical problems that are important here. Next thing is that that is important. We know that gravity here or acceleration due to gravity. So first of all, there are two things that we have, that is gravity and acceleration due to gravity. There are difference between these two things, student. You always just say gravity and you just write it by small z, but it is not okay. So gravity is the force through which earth attracts any body towards its center. So and that or any mass towards its center. So that force is given by this F is equal to m into z. Through this force the earth just pull any mass towards its center. Clear? So this is called the gravity. So gravity is a force through which earth is pulling any body, and through which acceleration it is pulling any body, that is known as acceleration due to gravity, and we are denoting it by small z. Clear? So whenever there is change in height or depth occur, then there is change in gravity also occur, and due to change in gravity the body experience different kinds of forces, and the strength of force that is increasing or decreasing. Means the effect whenever we are talking about the surface, then with respect to surface the gravity, suppose at the surface we are measuring this g, that is 9.8 meter per second square, or sometimes we are taking 10 meter per second square. But if we are just seeing the variation in this g, means with respect to surface, if we are taking seeing variation whenever we are going with altitude, or we are going with latitude, or we are going on in depth, then that time there is the change in z occurs. Means at different places on earth there is different gravitational force that the body is experiencing. So the effect on gravity means effect of different factors on gravity, that is very important question here for concepts, and for here calculations, derivations also this is important. So let's see that first of all here. So first effect that is important, that is when what will be the effect on gravity if we are going or we are changing altitude, or we are going with the height of the means we are going in upward direction with respect to surface of the earth. So suppose that this is our earth, and here this is capital R is the radius of the earth, and now any mass is here, then that time it feels the acceleration due to gravity, that is z here. And now if we want to just move in upward direction, suppose we are doing mountaineering and another thing, then that time what will be the effect on gravity? So suppose this mass is now so this is O, this is P, this is Q. This mass is now at point Q here and this height is h. So if we are going to the height h from the surface of the earth, then what will be the effect on gravity, that we have to find out. So first of all, what is the acceleration due to gravity? I just told you this is F is equal to m into z. Here m is the mass of this body that is here, and you can write out what will be the force here. Gravitational force will be, if capital M is the mass of the earth, then this is Gmm upon r square. So this is equal to m into z. So we can find out what is the value of z here, that is Gm upon r square. Okay? So it means that on the surface, any massive body of any mass that is experiencing same acceleration due to gravity, it is not depending on the mass of the body. Clear? First thing. Now at the surface, if the value of g is this, now suppose that the g here at point q, z is denoted by z dash, then what will be g dash here? So value of z dash, that will be equal to Gm upon the whole distance between this, that will be now r plus h. Then we can write here r plus h whole square. Clear? Now just take the difference of them. So g dash upon z, its value will be Gm upon r plus h whole square upon Gm divided by r square here. Next, if we will solve it, then z dash upon z, this is equal to r square upon something r plus h whole square. Again we can write it 1 upon r plus h upon r whole square. Clear? No problem here. Again if you want to write here, then we can just solve it. This will be 1 plus h upon r whole square here. And now here to solve it, binomial expansion, that will help us. So just to write it, z dash upon z, this is equal to, we can put write this value 1 plus h by r power minus 2 here. Clear? If you will solve it, and here we can see this h, this is much smaller than this value of r. Obviously we have the maximum height, that is the height of Mount Everest we have. So something 8,000 something meters we have only, and the earth radius, that you know that is 400 kilometer we have. Then obviously this height is much less than the radius of the earth, and that time we can use first order binomial expansion. Student, first order binomial expansion you can use only this condition. Whenever this quantity is much less than this quantity, then that time you can only apply first order binomial expansion. Try to remind that factor in your mind also. And now if we will use first order, then obviously in first order binomial expansion, if we have 1 plus x upon a power n, then that will be equal to 1 plus n x upon a. Simple. This power will be multiplied here. Then we will get 2h upon r. Now we can write down what will be the value of z dash finally. So this is z 1 minus 2h upon r. And from here we can see that this is the variation of actually g with some height h here. And now we can see that this is z minus something, this factor. So as we are seeing that whenever we are going on height, then there is decrease in gravity that takes place. So acceleration, sorry, not gravity, acceleration due to gravity, that is decreases. So acceleration due to gravity, that decreases up to height with this factor 2hg upon r. You can find out easily. Here 2g upon r is constant only. With change in s, there will be change in gravity also. So first this derivation is important. How with the height there is change in gravity, and also the numerical problems based on this, that is also important. Number of numericals can be asked from this chapter, especially this chapter is really a lot of questions from there, lot of things are important here. So next thing is that how the acceleration due to gravity changes with change in depth. So suppose this is our Earth system and its mass is capital M, its radius is capital R we have, and now we are going in depth. Then obviously its radius will change here. Suppose this is now equal to sum of the, and also suppose we have just gone some distance d, means some depth d from the surface. Here we are talking about with respect to surface always. So as we have the value of g at surface 9.8 meter per second square. So here whenever we are going in depth, suppose at t depth we have to find out what will be the value of gravity here. So suppose at this point, this is point Q, this is O, this is P, and we are moving from point P to Q inside the earth, and that time suppose here gravity, that is z dash, and here also gravity is z we have. So just first of all write down the value of z. So value of z, you know that is z m upon r square. Then here one thing is constant. Whenever we are just going inside to the earth, the density of earth, that is constant everywhere. Then if suppose that the density of earth means mass per unit volume, that is equal to rho here, then at this point density will be constant, at this point density will also be constant. So we will use this property of a system here. So we can write down in place of mass, that is density, mass can be written as density into volume, clear? And here the volume of the earth will be equal to 4 by 3 pi r cube upon this r square. And if you will solve it, then it will be equal to 4 by 3 pi z rho into something r, clear? Now if we have to find out what will be the value of z dash at this point Q, then g dash will be equal to z m upon, now this r, this is the r for this whole thing, then it will be equal to, this is r, this is d, r minus d here. So this is r minus d whole square. Now we can again just write what is the mass of earth here. So mass, suppose here mass is m dash we have. So this mass is written as z rho. As mass is changing, we are going inside the earth, mass is changing here, clear? So this will be equal to z rho 4 by 3 pi, the density of this sphere now. So this is equal to r minus d whole cube divided by r minus d whole square. And after that if we will solve it, this is 0 into 4 by 3 pi r minus d. Okay? So this is the value of z dash at this point, this is value of z at that point. Now just compare only these two values. This was only the important factor in the case of depth. The density will be constant, mass will change here. So if we will just write down what is z dash upon z here, write down the value of z. This is 0, 4 by 3 pi r minus d upon the value of z we have 4 by 3 pi 0 into r. Let's solve it now. This whole thing will be cancelled out, only r minus d upon r, this will be here, and after solution we can find out this is 1 minus d by r. So here if you will just write down z dash by z, or z dash is equal to something z multiplied by this. So this is the change in gravity whenever we are going through the depth inside the earth. And here we are also seeing that this is z minus something, this factor. It means that whenever we are going into depth, then that time the acceleration due to gravity also decreases. Means with respect to surface, whenever we are going up in upward direction or in downward direction, in both the cases acceleration due to gravity that decreases, and in which factor it is depending on. So means with height it is decreases more than with depth. Here in case of height, here was two thing multiplied there. So 2 times its height is at height means with height g is decreases, but with the change in depth, this factor through this factor z d upon r, through this factor the gravity is decreases here. So there is the this is the impact of height and depth on the acceleration due to gravity, and also on the gravity that is felt by any massive body. So I think here the change that is now clear. So today number of concepts that we have discussed that can ask in your examination in derivative forms and in conceptual forms. And later here one thing has to discuss again, what will be the effect on z due to rotation of earth or due to shape of earth, and also what is escape velocity and orbital velocity, and what is the case of satellite, mean what will be the time period of satellite and another factor. So let's discuss that in next class, and after that we will discuss numerical problems based on this. So for today let's end the class here friends. Rest of the things let's discuss in next class. Thank you.